guys, Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice, and this is my second time trying to shoot this video. Guys, yeah, so I started on taping the third installment of the Simple Landscape series where I was going to be concentrating on birch trees, and I started the video, and I'll be very honest, you know, guys, you've seen me post. I've kind of been going through sort of a block, some things personally. It's kind of been hard to get back into it. So I started on the painting. I wasn't really pleased with it. As a matter of fact, it's on the back of here. I'm going to flip it over and show it to you. I wasn't really pleased with the way the background was coming out. It just wasn't. So I decided I wanted to try to do something just a little bit more fun. Still going to concentrate on showing you how to do the birch tree, which was the main focus of this particular video. So don't worry about that. And I'm painting narrow. So one thing that kind of helped me in the beginning, especially when it came to painting landscapes, to keep it simple, was to either paint smaller or to paint more narrow and taller. It just kind of helped give me a smaller surface area to have to cover, and I could concentrate on certain things or adding certain elements in smaller clusters. That way, you know, it wouldn't be so overwhelming. And then as I continued to paint, excuse me, I grew into painting larger. So we've covered skies, we've covered making rocks with masking tape, and now I'm going to show you guys how to paint a birch tree. Now, as you saw on the back of this painting, there were 3 birch trees, and whenever we're putting elements in a composition, we want to always try to do it in, you know, odd numbers. That's the rule. It just seems to look better to the eye, and it seems to help the eye flow better through a particular composition or painting. So here I've taken a strip of masking tape as long as the paper that I'm painting on, right? And I am going to tear towards me the end of that tape. Now what that's going to do is going to create a jagged edge, giving me a more natural tree line, or yeah, you know, like giving me a more natural bark shape. Let's say it like that. Now birch trees are white with papery texture bark. It has really dark elements in it that look almost like they're burned into the wood. Very, very beautiful trees. I will grab a picture. I think I have a printed picture of one. I'm totally painting this from, you know, the top of my head. I'm not like using a reference photo. I've done a million of these. So I'm gonna lay this. I want this to be a really big birch tree, and it's gonna be in the middle, right? So we're gonna kind of put this end here. I just wanna make sure I leave enough room because I'm painting so long, narrow and long. I just wanna make sure I leave enough room. Now, if you notice, I did not stick that tape down on my pen sled. I want it to really adhere down because I do not want the paint to run under that tape. Now, when it's time to take that off to release it, I'm going to actually use a heating tool or a hair dryer in order to thoroughly heat that tape. It's going to loosen the adhesive, and if I pull it off at an angle, it makes it very easy to take that off without having to rub the tape on like your pants or some fabric of some type in order to lessen the tackiness of it. So that's something else that I learned in the beginning. I'm just trying to share with you guys everything that I can remember. Is that gonna be big enough? Don't want to make it bigger. I think I'm gonna make it bigger with sort of a lean in it, maybe. Okay, let's tear that off, and this time, well, I can tear the same side. I'll just turn it in the opposite direction. So I'm not throwing those little pieces of tape away either. I'll use them in another project. So I've been working on, you know, my custom journals that you guys have seen a lot of on the channel lately. I am really enjoying that. I have nearly completed the very first journal that I actually want to, well, it's an art book. It's not just a journal. It's a mixture of all three types of journals, from art journal to sketchbook to junk journal. And like I said, I call those art books, if you remember from a previous video. And I've actually almost reached completion of the very first one that I want to use on the Etsy shop. And I'm actually going to use that to open the Etsy shop when it's time. So I'm going to just see if I can lean it in. I don't know, I kind of want to give it a slant on the bark, like so. I don't know how that's going to look at the end, but we'll see. You know, you still get the point. Playing around. Okay. And then I need one other piece to go down this middle, because we're making it one big tree. I don't want to just give us one thing to concentrate on versus the three I had. This really makes it simple, right? Right. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that that's all adhered down. You do not want paint running up under that, which was the problem that I had with the one that's on the back. You can see that paint ran into my birch trees, which, you know, I guess isn't the worst thing in the world. And I started to paint it. I haven't deleted this video, so, you know, maybe I'll complete it and do it as a voiceover or something. Maybe I just should keep going with it. But at this point, you know, you just get those paintings, you're just not feeling it, you're not in the mood. Like this one, I really don't like the way that tree looks in there like that now, to tell you the truth. But we're going to push forward. We're going to push forward. Okay, so I want a sky. We're going to take it all the way down with blue. Paint the sky all the way down. We'll leave the tree. We'll do some grass, tall grass elements. We may throw a few little flowers, weedy type flowers in there. Maybe a cattail or two. So who knows, maybe this is by a little embankment or something. Although you won't see any of that. This is sort of the general idea that we may be going for. I'm using the Roller Gallery watercolors, and it is my promise to you that as soon as I'm done shooting this video, I am going to turn around and directly shoot the review video for these paints. I know there may be some people who have been waiting to get their review, and I apologize. And I thank you guys for being understanding with me about the little unexpected break from shooting videos. All right, so I got me a big floppy sloppy synthetic square, or should I say flat synthetic squirrel. This is a Menta. It is a 3/4 flat. I need to change my water. The water is a little green. Okay, so I want to grab some of the cobalt blue. That's where we're gonna start. Didn't mean for it to get over there. That's okay. It's a little cobalt. I have really painted with this palette. All right, and we don't have a big painting. That's enough. It's gonna be way too saturated. A little water to that. All right, so let's wet all the way down. And we just want it to shine. We don't want puddles. So if you have puddles, just dry your brush. Let me show you. I'm gonna grab a paper towel and I'm gonna dry my brush. Right? And then I'm just gonna kind of run it across my paper. So the point is to pick up any puddle in water that's on the surface. We just want a uniform wetness. We don't want it to soften any areas. All right, so now I'm going to grab that cobalt blue and load my brush up with it. Drag it one time across the little lip of my palette there. And then starting at the top, I'm going to come across in one direction, all the way down to the bottom of the paper, letting the brush run out of paint. Okay. We're going to do it again because I want to more saturated dark color at the top. I think what I'm painting on is Creative Mark Universal Mixed Media paper, I believe. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to rinse my brush, blot it a little bit, and then drag that on the way down. Just want some variation in my sky. Now I'm going to grab a little ultramarine blue. And since we got that little puddle there, let's just go ahead and make that an ultramarine puddle. I wanted to keep all my blues up there, but oh well. Now I'm going to we're going to saturate that color. So more paint than water. I'm going to add paint till I get that to like, I would say it's like the consistency of maybe milk. That's what we're going to get it to. And that's a lot of color. That's a lot of color. So I'm going to rake it across the lip. Then I'm going to start at the top here. Oh, it's way more color than I wanted. That's all right. I'm going to rinse my brush, blot it, and then start again. And we're just going to bring it down. I just want it a little darker at the top. I'm just going to tap my brush in that color. Just want it a little darker at the top, right? Then I'm going to go back into my cobalt. Bring it down until I run out of paint. All right, let's get some clouds in here. We got us a nice light blue sky. I don't have the darkness at the top that I want. I'm going to dab some more ultramarine in here. I want it a little bluer at the top there. Hopefully that tape is holding and that paint is not getting under there. Now I'm going to go back into my cobalt. Get some water in there. Some bit more than I wanted. That brush, that's one thing about synthetic squirrel brushes. They hold water. So you have to be careful. I'm going to bring this because we're putting some clouds in there. So I'm just going to, because it's going to dry much lighter. It's going to dry much lighter. Then I'm going to block my brush a little bit. We're going to see if we can bring that down. I'm going to tilt. See if I can wipe up some of this paint from all the water I'm using. And yeah, I'm working really wet, but like I said, I wanted to have fun. It's different. Okay, let me see if I can straighten that back up. And then we are going to get us another paper towel. That's a little corner. I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm not wasting. You guys know I create books and journals that'll end up being part of a faux paper somewhere. So don't you worry, we won't throw that away. So I'm gonna grab that and I'm going to, towards the top here, block some clouds out, keeping in mind how small that is. You're not gonna see much of that cloud. I'm gonna just blot that out a little bit like that. Let's see if we can come on down the page a little bit more, make it thinner. And we're just gonna tap the rest of the way. Just tap, tap. I'm just gonna put little white puffies in, right? Little white puffies in. If you sharpen your paper towel, you can get thinner lines, kind of stagnate them like this. Let them get smaller as you go down the paper. Not sure if that's even doing anything. But yeah, so that's kind of the general effect you want to go for. Just, you know, like so. It's going to be background noise anyway. Once we remove the masking tape, they're going to fade into the back. And now in the first video, we added shadowing to those clouds. We won't do this in the video. We're going to keep everything in the background, like I said, kind of background noise. The focal image is really going to be the tree. So we're going to give this time to dry, and then I'm going to come right back and we're going to start on painting the grass area at the bottom. Okay, the background has dried, so we're going to move on to painting in some grass. This is a foreground picture, so let's see, what brush do I want to use? I have this, what is this? This Dagger Striper by Master's Touch. It's a 3/8. I want to give it a whirl, so we're gonna, again, keeping this very simple. We're not gonna do any mixing here. We are going to use a pre-made green from the set. I'm gonna grab the color swatch sheet here, and I think I'm gonna go with this regular green. I guess you guys can tell at this point, I've decided to keep this video real time. How do you like those apples? So I'm just gonna put some of the green here. I don't want that color. I said I wasn't gonna do any color mixing, but I want to use that as the darker shade. So I'm gonna mix a little. Do I want a warmer or cooler yellow? Let's go with lemon yellow. Let's really make it. Let's see what that does to it. That's an okay color. It is lighter. Maybe just a touch more yellow. Okay, let's see. I want to load that brush up a little bit there. And then we're going to start by putting a few grasses in here. Like so. Just a few. I'm just making the regular height grasses. I'm just dragging that brush up from the bottom, coming directly off the tape. We're gonna get some taller grasses in there. I just wanted to get a base in here to start with. I'm gonna leave spacing in there because I want you to be able to see through it. Now I'm gonna go back in with that green directly from the palette. This is gonna be much darker. And we're gonna just drag in a few lines of that. Okay. Right. I want something that's a little brown. Let me see. What do we have here? Mars brown. No. The English red is a little too red. The burnt sienna is, I guess it's brown. That's good. We can go with the burnt sienna. That's sepia. See, the burnt sienna is more of a reddish brown. I want it to look like maybe sticks. Let's go with the sepia. Yeah, let's go with that. A sepia. Sepia. And we're just gonna put a little of that on the palette, just enough to coat the bristles of the brush. I don't want too many strokes of that in. We'll just put a few twigs in here, like so. Coming out the back there, coming up off the side. Just a few little twigs, not too much. And let's see, what else do we want? We need a darker green, so I am gonna do a little bit. I said I'm gonna do color mix, and I guess I can't help it. I'm gonna grab a little ultramarine and mix it in the green. Let's take it a shade darker, and that's just the regular green directly from the palette. And now I'm gonna drag up some big ones. Drag up some, just drag them up. Let it run, let the paint run off the brush. Let the paint run off the brush. Do we need any more? I think I want to go even darker. I'm gonna grab a little more ultramarine, just a touch, and mix it in that little puddle. And this is gonna take it more of a bluey green. That's too much. I wanna bring it back. So I'm gonna grab a little more of that green we were working with. Mix that in. That's really dark strokes. Just a few, really thin, barely touching, barely touching, barely touching, barely touching, dragging up, barely touching. Make them come from behind the tree. All right. I think that's good. We'll put a few cattails on the end of some of those. Let's grab a little bit more of that sepia. I want it a little bit more concentrated. I got it, it's a little watery for me. There we go. And I'm just gonna put in some really barely touching. Because I just wanna make sure I have enough of those little brown branches in there because I want it to make sense that there are little flowers down there. Now I'm gonna get this time completely dry because I want to paint flowers and like little lupins and things in there. And I don't want those colors to mix in with the greens that are still a little wet. So I'm gonna give this just a second to dry, and then we'll paint in the cattails, we'll paint in the little flowers, maybe a few lupins. And then we can move on to removing our masking tape. We'll tackle the birch tree, maybe throw a couple of birds in the background. Gonna keep it really simple, really small, but it'll be effective, I think. So we'll give this time to dry and we'll be right back. We have dry grass, so now I want to grab a golden Teclon. This is a number 2 round. Of course, golden Teclon are synthetic precious. And I need to think here. What color? I think I want to dab a few leaves in there. There will be leaves. So we'll just dab a few leaves on some of them. Right? Some of them would have leaves. Maybe, maybe over here. A few. I'm just using that darker green mixture. Just making marks, really. Really just making marks. As you can see, let's see, here. And definitely down off in here, right? And over here. Yeah, that's good. And then let's do a couple of flowers. Red will go good in there, of course. But let's start off with that lemon yellow that we used. I'm gonna just make a very little, I'm just making some cute little flowers. Maybe right here. There's a lupin. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right there. Just coming out the top of the page, at the bottom of the page. Can you see? I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see, let's move in a little closer. I'll slide that up. All right, and let's do one a little higher so you can see it. And you're just really kind of throwing it in there. I mean, the grasses will pick up on it. It'll look like it's attached to one of the grasses, you know. You don't have to be really specific with this, which is another reason I kind of wanted to, you know, show you guys this. These are really easy ways I practiced in the beginning to do a landscape. Okay, so I want to add another color flower to there. I want to get some red, so I think I'm going to grab this carmine. No. What I said carmine. That's cad red medium. That's carmine. Cad red medium. I like that color. That's seems to be really pretty. Let me see if I can find a spot to because I just need to make a little. I want to kind of take that straight from the pen if I can. And we'll make. Oh, what does it look like a little grass is? Here. Let's make a little flower here. Yep, right there. And maybe there's another one right here on top of where this grass was. And I'm just putting 4 dots. Like, that's how simple that is to make that, right? Let's see. Maybe there's another one over here where you can only see kind of 2 of the petals, and it's coming off the side of the paper there. You know, that's cute. You kind of make it continue across, and we definitely want to see they're smaller. Let's get some coming off from behind the birch tree. You can see this one at like a 3-petal angle. And I am, again, going directly from the pen with that color because I don't want a huge shift when it dries. I think that's nice. That's nice, just like that. I'm gonna go back and put a little center in the middle. Grab a little cad yellow and put that right in the center of those flowers where you would be able to see it. It's just a small detail, but I think it's effective. Those little yellow centers in there. All right. I think we're looking good. Let's see. What do you guys think? You can't see that. Turn it that way for a minute. See the detail in it? And that was just from, like, you know, throwing random grasses in the background. Now, I still want to add some cattails, and then we're going to move on to the tree. So, now, that sepia, when it dried, it got real light, so they kind of look like sticks in the distance. I'm going to switch over to, and I shouldn't do this because I'm introducing another color, but hey, you know, we're having fun. I'm going to switch over to the burnt sienna and get it right. Oh, it is so red. What pigment is that? Let me grab. I wonder what pigment that burnt sienna is made from. Let me grab the swatch sheet. Burnt sienna. It is PR101. That's PR101, huh? I don't know why it looks so much. It looks so red to me. It's not too far from the, well, the English red is PR101 as well. So, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting color. Let's see here. We're gonna use that to paint one side of. Let me see if I can find a grass to grab onto for the loop, and we'll get one side painted in. We'll paint it in with the burnt sienna. All right. Then we're gonna grab some of the sepia, and mix that into it. And come right down the opposite side of it, just to give it a little shadow. I don't know, can you guys see that? See if I can make that bigger. Can you see that? I just shadowed it on the opposite side. I'll leave it zoomed in like that. So I'll rinse my brush because I want my burnt sienna to be saturated, right? Less water in that. And we'll go and we'll put another one. Oh, we can make it look like it's coming off of this one. It's kind of leaning a little bit. That's okay. Let's square that off. And it's actually on top of one of those blades of grass, so it naturally gets darker on one end. I'm going to actually paint that in a little bit more. Okay, then I'm going to grab that sepia mix, and we're going to just darken the back side of that. And I put my little tails on top. And for that one, I actually need to grab some green and kind of for the stem. There we go. All right. Let's grab a little bit more. This video is gonna be long as crap. I need to cut it out. We'll put it right here. Put it right here. And just paint that in real quick. Let's see if we can grab some more of that color directly from the pen and make that a little bit. There we go. 3 will be enough. 3 is an odd number. It's just enough, I believe. Let's grab the little sepia on the side. And we're just gonna come down the side here. Let that seep in. Darken up the side there. And there. There we go. And then I want to put the little tails on the top. Directly into my burnt sienna. Barely touching the paper. And I'm going to drag that up. This one will make it a little topsy-turvy there. And then that one you're barely going to be able to see. There we go. All right. Let's see, I'm trying to get that so you guys can see it. And there, I just added 3 little cattails. We got some lupins, some leaves, some greeny kind of flowers. You know, just making a little note, just kind of adding to that noise that we put in the background to bring some foregroundness to it, and just to make it look really cool, really simply. So I'm gonna slide back out here, all right? Okay, so we can get a better view of what we are and what we're doing. So now I think we're at the point where we can remove the tape. Oh God, guys, forgive me for how long this video was. So I need 2 seconds. I'm gonna heat this up. I need to heat this tape. I wanna make sure that it pulls off, and then I'm gonna come right back and show you guys the angle that I put it at. So I took a second and thoroughly heated that tape. Now let's see if this is gonna cooperate. Yeah, it is. Oh, it still got blue up under it. I hate that. I really, really do. Oh, and it got it in the middle stripe. That's a bummer. That is a bummer, guys. Yep, so that's the risk you run, you know, with this technique. I'm going to try to see, because it was this ultramarine and cobalt, I'm going to see. I'm going to grab a scrubber brush. This is a great learning moment. We're going to grab a scrubber brush, and I'm just pulling it off at an angle. Can you see that? That's going to help prevent tearing. It's not going to... Oh. And right as I said it, the paper tore. Right as I said that. Twice. I'll be dang. Okay, so a couple of learning moments here. I'm gonna grab a little water, and I'm going to just lay that paper back down. Oh wow. And this is actually, I'm not sure if I said it, this is actually the painting for a journal cover I'm gonna shoot a video doing and share with you guys. Yeah, that's okay. We're gonna keep trucking along. I know that we sure are. So I'm gonna grab this scrubber brush that I have. This is a number 8 scrubber brush, Mentor. This is by Rolling Lane Nickel. Now the Mentor line of brushes are some very economical, affordable, good brushes. I've heard them recommended by a lot of artists that I have much respect for. So it seems to be a popular opinion that there's some pretty decent economical brushes. I'm just gonna get that wet, half wet it, and then we're gonna come in here and see if it's any way possible that we can lift that blue out of there. And when you're doing this, you wanna remember to dab, not rub. There we go. We can lift that out. So this is definitely a great learning moment and a great moment for the paints, because you can see that these Rosa Gallery paints lift really, really well. I have a pre-mixed kind of gray black here already on this palette from when we did the rock paintings, if you guys remember. So I'm gonna grab a number 6. I want a smaller brush than that. I want a number 4. Where is that brush? I want my number 4. Okay, so I'm gonna just use this one. That's fine. I got a number 6 round here. I am going to get part of that watering. I'm gonna add quite a bit of water to that. So what I'm doing is creating the shade to go down. I have the tendency to do the major shading from the left side. So I'm just gonna stick with what feels comfortable. And I'm just gonna take that and we're gonna drag that paint down, kind of following the line of that tree. So what we're doing is we're giving that white area dimension. We are going to give the tree shape. So we're gonna shadow one side completely. And then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna wet my brush. I'm gonna, you know, just blot it a little bit. And then we're gonna come back. We're gonna grab the end. And we're gonna blend that so we can try to soften that line. Now this is, as I said earlier, Universal Mixed Media Paper. It's by Creative Mark. It's sold at Jerry's Autorama. This is a mixed media paper that is gonna come, or that does come in most, if not all, most of the journals, art journals that I put together and that are going to be listed on the Esty Shop. It's a very robust all-around paper. It's great for, as you can see, we're doing watercolor painting on it. It handled well to me, scrubbing out that paint. It takes color really well. It's a 90-pound acid-free cold press paper. So it is student grade, and this is the predominant paper, as I said, that comes in the student grade versions of any of the journals that are going to be listed on the shop. So I kind of want to add in a little more shadowing to this side, but I'm going to wait and give that time to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to switch over to that number 2 round I was painting the flowers and the lupins and the little leaves, foliage with. And I am going to go into that same mixture. And with a light touch, thinly, I'm going to come down the opposite side of the tree. Just making a thin line of definition along it. Now I can see where I didn't scrub all of the blue out, and that's fine. I'm just gonna cover it with that shadow mixture, and that's only gonna help darken that shadow mixture up, that's all. That's why I'm not really worried about it. I'm just gonna continue to follow the line of the tree down, being sure to make sure it touches the edge of my grass blades, because I want it to look natural. I want it to look like those blades are coming from behind the tree, right? So we're just gonna, and yeah, this is not the only time we're gonna do this now. We're building color here. I'm taking my time with this painting. It's been a couple of days since I put something up. I'm finally back in the groove and feel like, you know, feel like painting. Feel like being creative. I mean, I've been working on my journals, but as far as painting and drawing have been concerned, I don't know. I had some type of block going on. And I feel like, you know, coming into doing this particular painting, I may be coming out of it, and I'm happy about that. All right. So now I want to kind of make sure that that blends in too. I'm just grabbing a little water and I'm blending it all the way down. And I'm using this brush to do it because I know it's not going to hold a lot of water. It's going to allow me to blend it down. Just wanted to add some shadow over there. Okay. Now I am going to shadow the more. So I'm going to get a little darker on the color from that mixture. Let me switch back over to the number 6 brush because I want to be able to cover a larger area at once. All right. And you know what? I'm going to actually go through and make sure that that's wet again. Now, I'll blow dry this paper. It'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna go, ooh, it's definitely more saturated now. Definitely more saturated, but because we wet the paper first, it's gonna what? It's gonna dry lighter. All right. I'm just adding another layer of color there. Go in again, blend out that line, soften it. Drag that paint across. It's okay that it blends out. It's okay that it blends out. All right. We looking good. We looking good. We looking good. We're going to do the same thing down the other side. I'm just going to stick this number 6 and we're going to try to just keep the shadow line. Then I'm making it a little bit thicker than I had it at first. Just going to kind of close in the shadow on this tree. And this is all we're doing with the birch tree. I mean, it's not much to it. We're going to add the papery texture in just a minute. And then maybe some branches, a few birds in the sky, blending it back, blending it back, blending it back, softening that line. We can take that across. If you want, you can go in and blend that whole thing. It will shadow the tree even more. And it's gonna help cover up those areas of the paper that may have tore when I pulled my tape. Hopefully yours didn't. All right, so that's gonna do that. Next, we're gonna go in and actually add in the papery texture. So I'm gonna start with adding in like the little lines. So I'm gonna go into this black mixture, then add any water to this brush. Don't know how these gonna hold because I just wet this paper. But when I paint, I want to kind of like keep in mind the angle that a tree goes in, like it's round. And I'm gonna kind of make my lines the same way throughout the painting. Just ever so lightly touching it. Oh, went off there. We'll see if we can scrub that out later. If not, then we're just gonna leave it like it is. And I'm just, and when it spots like that, that's great. Birch trees do that. So again, I'm grabbing, and you can try to start at the end of it, of the tree when you do it. All right, we're gonna stop there. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry because I want to see where it is. Let's finish up in this little setting. And I'm gonna apologize again, guys, if this video has been too long. Hopefully it hasn't. Hopefully you've kind of like maybe learned something from it, or you're okay with the fact that it's been a little longer. Just want to spend a little bit more time with you guys. I'm just adding a little water to that black color that we had on the palette, and I'm actually going to just use a credit card scraper, which, as you may know if you've been watching the channel for any time, is a nifty little tool that I use in all types of ways. I've been using this little piece of cut up credit card for quite some time, and what I'm doing is loading a little of that paint up on the end of that card. Can you see that? And I'm going to come in, I'm going to find an area, I'm going to grab the edge of the tree, and I'm going to scrape in. And I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to scrape in. Just like so. Load up a little bit more paint. I'm going to scrape that one over a little bit more. Right? Okay. One here. Yeah. And how about a real big one here? Why not? Let's just drag that across just like that. All right. I'm going to turn my paper upside down to do the opposite side. I'm going to kind of stagger them. Let's try one here. And if I see that I didn't get the corner of the tree, I'll go back. Angle that credit card. Use it. It's a tool, right? And you see that? You kind of want it to break and be jagged. Okay. Yep. That's how we want it. Sort of like that dry brush effect. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do another one here. Just drag over till the paint runs off of it. And one down here at the bottom. Why not? Yeah, it's gonna be the bottom for me. It looks like the top, but it's the bottom when we turn the painting upside the right way. I'm gonna do a little short one. There. A little short one. Why not? It'll be okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back up. Excuse me. Get a little paint, and I'm going to kind of itch in. Let's go back on those and kind of just itch them, kind of scrape them in. We're giving the tree that papery texture. We just want to kind of cut it into the paper. It's okay. It's going to mar the paper. Because when your credit card is scraping, you're really damaging the paper. That's okay. That's the effect we're looking for here. It works. And I went off into my blue there again. We're gonna hopefully hope that's not too noticeable. All right. Now what I want to do is take this and just cut marks into the paper. I'm just gonna cut into the paper. Just go along and cut. There you go, like so. Put another one maybe here, one here. Guys, I think, well, I won't overdo it. That's nice. I like that. I think that's a nice little, you know, beginner birch tree painting. It's got all the elements that you would need to be focusing in on a birch tree. I mean, it's jagged on the edge because of the tear technique we used on the masking tape. We got foliage in the background. We have a sky and clouds. So we pretty much have an entire kind of simple, straightforward composition here. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you guys with this part of the mini-series. So we've done a birch tree. You guys should be proud of yourself. Wasn't that easy? That was actually really, really easy. Now, you can continue to work on this and take it to whatever level you may want to. Excuse me. Frog in my throat. Continue to scratch in little birchy, papery like textures, you know. adding to the tree. It's cool. It's fun. You can get carried away. I get carried away. Do too much. Okay, that's my last one. Yes, there. So, there, guys, that is a birch tree. Wasn't it easy and fun? And we painted little foliage and lupins and little flowers and cattails, and got a lot of elements in there. I'm pleased with that. Okay, so I think this is dry enough around the sides. We're gonna go ahead and I need to sign it. Let me see. Let me grab a pen here, because this will end up being on the cover of a journal, as I said before, that I'm going to put together with you guys, and let you see how I build a journal from beginning to end. We're going to build it from scratch. We're going to have fun, and I'm going to start doing videos like that where we make art journals together. I'll show you all the different kind. I got a lot of good feedback about the travel journal video. This is a number 3 micron. Let's see if this will do it. Yes, it will. We're gonna say LeVar, which is my middle name, how I sign, 223. All right. Got us a little signature there, and we're gonna go ahead and, now I'm probably gonna have blue all around my border. But we're gonna remove this tape, and hopefully we got us a nice white border, which is gonna frame the painting and make it look really nice. Hopefully. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear it dryer in the background. I am actually making some faux rice paper for the journals. I'll probably shoot a YouTube short showing you guys how that turned out and what that faux rice paper looks like. And it's a wonderful technique. You can write on it. You can do graphite and pencil work on it. You can use colored pencils on it. So it's pretty versatile. It won't take wet media. You can ink on it. I inked on it. You can stencil on it with like, well, I've inked and stenciled on it with both dye-based and pigment-based inks. So, you know, pretty versatile little paper. It's real fun to make too. I'm gonna grab that scrub brush and go back in here and see if I can just clean it up across the top where that white is. Hopefully I won't lift out any of the painting as I do this. I just want to try to clean up to that line. Just seeing if we can get the white border back. That's not too bad. So there we have it. A really nice little painting of a birch tree. And it is going to be very, very nice when I show you guys how to put this together as the cover. And we'll make it a nature journal since it's got the birch tree on the front. That's going to be really, really nice. So there, guys, there you have it. That is part 3 installments of the Mini Easy Landscape series. Hopefully you saw something you like. If you did hear or see anything, pick up on anything, tips, techniques, tricks, learn anything at all, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Share the video. Remember that sharing is caring, and maybe there's somebody else out there who would like to, you know, kind of see these simple, easy techniques for painting a landscape. Use the comment section. Let me know what you think of this video, what you think of this little mini series, which will eventually end up in a mini series playlist. I kind of thought that out, thinking that maybe periodically I'll go along and just kind of add different beginner easy element landscape elements to that playlist. We'll see how that works out. Join us in the Thrifty Apprentice Facebook group. Paints, pencils, pastels, and markers. There's a link for it in the video description. There's also a link in the video description for my most recommended list of products from Amazon. There is a link for the Thrifty Apprentice School of Art on teachable.com. Now, I was doing a monthly subscription club called the Apprentice Guild. I had it up for about 2 months and there was absolutely no subscriptions. Not that that discouraged me, but you know, we do pay sort of a premium for using Teachable, and if it wasn't bringing in any subscribers, it wasn't feasible, just to be honest. So I had to scale back on that. So I'm going to be using Teachable to put up full courses that I put together. And I'm going to put together full courses on a lot of different things, including a beginner's course on creating custom journals so you can, you know, get really creative at home. So look forward to all of that. I'm working, it's working, it's just me, but I'm going to get to it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And as I tell you guys at the end of every single video, just keep painting.